Hi guys, I want to go over our drawing number 2. We have some pictorial drawings to do here, and one of the objects I want to cover is object number 6. It's that hexagon, and we have to take it from an orthographic view and we have to draw it into an isometric. And that can seem to be quite tricky, but I want to show you that it's actually quite easy. So, first things first, we'll give ourselves a starting point, a horizontal line at the bottom of the page, and then we need a vertical point. And then we need two 30-degree planes. Here's my golden rule for all orthographic views that you're trying to convert into isometric views. Is that the bottom right corner in every object, and in objects that don't have bottom right corners, the rule still applies. It's still a bottom right corner. We'll come here to our hexagon that we're going to draw. Here's the bottom right corner right here. All of those bottom right corners of every object that you're trying to draw is at this point in your isometric view. So let's have a look at that hexagon there again, and we'll say, okay, well, if our little peg is the bottom right corner of this object, where do we then start our object? Well, we can't draw anything there because there are no lines in that part of the drawing, are there? So the two lines that we're going to start with, or three I guess I should say, is we're going to start with a vertical line for this corner, vertical line for here, and a vertical line for here. Now, if you remember, isometric views do require to be proportionate, so you do need to have some numbers. So for this octagon or hexagon that we need to draw, we need to have a rough idea of how big we want it to be. And we want to be able to divide by 4, which I'll go into a little bit more in detail in a moment. So let's say 60. So I'm going to say 60 is our width of our hexagon, and it is equal in width in both directions. So I'm going to mark 60. And then if you look at that drawing, you can see that the center of the hexagon on this face is in the middle of the hexagon. So we'll need a little line at 30. And now here I'll go into the other side in a little bit more detail here now. If you go back to your modules and read it, it'll tell you that the opposite face that has the flat side on it, on a hexagonal object, is equal to half of the total width of the object. So 2/4. And so if you're looking at that right-hand view in the orthographic view, you'll have 1/4 width, 1/4, 1/4 to make up the middle, and then 1/4 for the right-hand side. So if I've gone with 60, what would be a quarter of 60? A quarter would be 15. So we'll go 15, and then we'll go 15 back from the start. That leaves half space in between. So now that we have those points, we can plumb up for some construction lines. So this will be our front face of our octagon, and this is our two side faces, or our two side points, at least one face. And then there's one more rule when it comes to octagons and proportions, that this object should be about half as tall as it is wide. So if we've gone with 60 for our width, let's go with 30 for our height. So mark right in the middle, and then we'll go 30 degrees in both directions. And now we need to transfer those lines across the top of our hexagon so we can defer where they are on the back side. The same with these two over here. Okay, so now where's the back sides of them? Well, we can't know that unless we actually measure. So we decided it was 60. So now we have to take 60. And we can do it right there, or we can do it this way in the corner as well works. And give ourselves a square box across the whole top. So we go 60. And 60. With this one, you really have to understand what you're doing as you're doing it, because this doesn't make a lot of sense so far, does it? It looks like we got lines all over the place. But we do have our hexagon there. So now we are just missing one, or rather two lines that we need. And I'll show you where those are. So one we need is right here. And then we need a plumb line here. And then we have to measure this one. So this is the one back leg of the hexagon here that we can't defer where the intersection of the lines should be without drawing a plumb line like that and then actually measuring it. So I'll start to darken things up here and you'll see what I mean by that. So this is our front face. This is our side face. I'm going to use my set square for the majority of what I can use it for. And then there's a few lines in here that we have to just connect point to point. Okay, now we've got two, there's one. Nope, we're at the point where we need to start freehanding. So on the front here, let's start the front bottom. Connect these 2 points together. Completes the bottom face of that front. And this is the same thing. Move up and connect the top. And then we have to do the same thing on the back. And then connect that back right corner to the back face. There we go. And that's how we draw our hexagon in isometric.